He noticed he never saw her frown or sad. This annoyed him the more. Prince Nnamdi then made it a mission to frustrate Ugo. The great palace in the village of Umolu was filled with so much joy and jubilation, until the great king's son, Prince Nnamdi, woke up one morning and couldn't move his legs. Many doctors and herbalists tried to make the prince walk, but to no avail. The prince's inability to walk changed his personality drastically, as well as the atmosphere in the village of Umolu. Prince Nnamdi turned to a sadist, always angry and moody, shouting at the maids and the visitors. This made the villagers fear him. His father, the king, tried to make him happy and be the lively prince he used to be, but he could not. The king brought beautiful daughters whose father had great reputation. Despite their beauty, Prince Nnamdi chose none of them. He was so depressed. This worried the king, and he wished his wife, the queen, was alive. Perhaps she would have revived the prince. Years passed. Prince Nnamdi became worse. He tried to kill himself many times. To prevent him from killing himself, the chiefs of the village recommended that a maiden be kept close to him to monitor and serve him. Since everyone was scared of being close to the prince, Ugo, the daughter of a slave, was forced to serve the prince. Ugo had a cheerful spirit. Despite her condition, she always smiles. She believed each morning came with a blessing. On her first day with the prince, Prince Nnamdi deliberately made a mess in his room. He was angry that his father had given him a personal maiden, and so he won't have the space to kill himself. Prince Nnamdi was surprised when he saw Ugo smiling as she cleaned the mess in the room. He thought she was covering up her frustration, but as days passed, he noticed he never saw her frown or sad. This annoyed him the more. Prince Nnamdi then made it a mission to frustrate Ugo. He would complain and throw his food away, shout at Ugo every time. The palace maids pitied Ugo, but Ugo, being a positive lady, saw through the prince. She saw sadness and fear in Prince Nnamdi's eyes. She decided to write a motivational letter in the night and sneaked into the prince's room early in the morning to place the letter on the prince's bed. The prince saw the letter, read it, and was furious. He assembled everyone in the palace to find out who wrote the letter, but he could not find the person. This didn't stop Ugo, as she continued to write motivational letters every night and place it on the prince's bed early in the morning. The prince got motivated after reading each letter. He felt confident, but would mask his feelings when people were around him. He kept on frustrating Ugo. One day, the prince heard someone singing outside. He enjoyed the music and the lyrics. When he looked outside the window, he noticed it was Ugo that was singing. She was singing and sewing her tattered clothes gracefully. He admired her. She was always cheerful, despite how hostile he was towards her. Every morning, after reading the motivational letters, he would go close to the window to listen to Ugo. Little by little, he started talking and being friendly to Ugo. One evening, while they were talking, the prince told Ugo that he knows that she's the one that has been writing the letters. Ugo was surprised and scared, but Prince Nnamdi told her not to be afraid. He told her how the letters really helped him. Ugo then felt relaxed and asked the prince to tell her what really happened to him that night that he got paralyzed. Prince Nnamdi told Ugo that night he felt something pressing his legs. Ugo was surprised. She thought it was a serious illness that caused it. The next day, Determined to cure the prince, Ugo went to her father, who was great with herbal medicine. She narrated everything to him, and he told her she can only cure the prince if she got a leaf from the forest. Ugo then walked deep into the forest. She saw the big tree and plucked the leaves, took it home and cooked it. She then took it to the palace, explained the importance to the king, and got the permission to serve the prince the potion. The prince started drinking the potion. Slowly his legs started gaining strength. Ugo continued to treat the prince with the leaves. One morning, Ugo went to the prince's room to greet him. To her surprise, the prince was walking. Prince Nnamdi was so excited that he could walk. Ugo too was happy, but deep down she didn't understand the sad feelings she had. Everybody in the village were excited. That night, the prince met Ugo at their usual spot under the tree. He told Ugo that he noticed she wasn't really happy, asking her what the problem was. Ugo told the prince that she was just feeling sad because her work in the palace is done, and so she would leave soon. Prince Nnamdi held her hands, looked into her eyes and told her she won't leave. He asked Ugo to marry him, but Ugo refused. She said she was not fit to marry the prince because she was the daughter of a slave. The prince insisted and begged Ugo. Ugo agreed and they got married. They lived happily ever after. The moral of the story is to let you know that in this life we would meet people with different reactions towards pains and sufferings, but we should not judge them. Instead, we should be patient, love, and show them kindness in any way possible, because a little act of kindness can lessen burdens, save lives, and strengthen hope. At the end, being kind opens doors of impossibilities. Thank you for watching this story. What lesson did you learn from this story? Comment on what you learned, and do not forget to like and share with your loved ones. Subscribe to this YouTube channel to enjoy more stories. See you soon.